a lot of the teams here, Vicky, they played 18 yesterday, right? We were, I was having a bit of a chat to Falcons before. They were definitely feeling it. 18 games in a ranked session, that's a long day of Apex. 18 games at top level Apex, I reckon it takes something like double the amount of energy to play at this level. You are so intense, you're so locked in, you're coming hard, you're thinking strategically, as well as having
top recorder. What's up, dude?
Players we've got on the stage, and just looking around at the teams and the names that we've got here, it doesn't even feel like an elimination bracket.
I'm on edibles. Nice, bro. Nice. I'm about to rip a dab here soon.
60 teams left at this land.
Multiple
and already you've got teams like Falcon, Aurora, Team Liquid, Na'Vi sitting down here in the elimination bracket. Crazy.
It's insane. You talked about 18 games of ranked. I mean, imagine playing.
I had 1600 milligrams. Damn. What kind of edible did you eat? Like a brownie or a little gummy? Like, what was it?
There, right? When you're trying to grind it out, playing 18 total games. Imagine how you feel at the end
Bro,
of the
my
day.
eyes are like foggier than fuck, dude.
As we start our first game on E District, expecting a lot of Alter to come through here too. Of course, we've been seeing that Legend be that mainstay key for a lot of these teams to find that success. You saw the little hint there of where these zones are going to be pulling to. Complexity are going to be very happy with this.
Millions rope? I don't even know what that is, dude. Not gonna lie. Is that like Dragon's Candy or something? Dragon's Beard or whatever the fuck it's called?
Black Ricky coming into contact soon with Gaming Gladiators. They're just on the other side of this building, and as they go up to try and hit that survey beacon, presumably that is the option. They've taken the recon perk for Alter. Yes, they will actually.
The recon perk for Alter. What the fuck? Oh, I have Newcastle. That's why.
Not before they manage to get away. No, does look like GG get out just fine. They'll take the shields off Lufka. But that's not enough to worry them for now. GG pull up into City Hall here. Manage to find a position that they can play.
Fuck, man, I'm tired. I can only imagine how you're feeling with that edible.
By the way, already in this next circle, squads quick on their rotate, considering that in a zone like this, there's a lot of space to coexist in.
Oh, okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
Spread between Alter and Catalyst. You know that there's going to be a lot of shenanigans for the teams that could share these buildings, trying to go for the kidnap.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Void Passage, TSM, one of the teams in that next zone, already making their next move. Going to be able to ping that care pack, get the extra Evo charge. It's insane. You have TSM, Liquid Alien.
Take a little dab here myself. My dab rig's all warmed up. Good strong flavor. What did it taste like?
Team Orchid neighboring them in that building.
Yeah, Team Awkward. Did I just say awkward? No. Anyway,
Orchid.
Look, Orchid might be the Australian in me. They got Energy Bank as a pick, incredibly helpful. Access to beacons, but most importantly, you very often, I think it's maybe something like half of the time, you'll get 2 Evo harvesters within your POI in Energy Bank. So you're almost never going anywhere without blue armor, and you're further on the way to purples than almost any other team, as well as being central and having, great rotation options. It's just an incredibly powerful POI, and as we say that, the star player of Team Awkward.
Oh, you can taste his weed really strong? Damn. I mean, they didn't make the edible right then, because if you make an edible properly, you don't taste the weed. You gotta use THCA because it gets rid of all the terpenes in it.
Flowers, by the way. Maybe not so favorite for Panic, who fell at the hands of Easy Flash Kid. Heroes, already getting some early KP on the board, while Team Orchid have that Crypto Drone flying around to see what they could do here, get the information, while the other teammate is going to be trying to reposition. Because Omit are on the other side, while Heroes have this slight high ground. You know that right to the south side of Heroes is going to be YBR, Young Black Ricky, who are uncontested over to that southwestern side of that rotate. But
straight
THC,
THC,
so many teams go in for an early rotate too, is because the chokeholds on
feel that? Nothing wrong with that.
so brutal.
Whatever gets it done, you know?
No, absolutely. I think where these zones tend to end up as well can be quite brutal. It'll usually head towards one of those canals. And so teams just try and play
I'm cooked right now.
A position that they can look for some kills with early on. Something with just a little bit of safety.
What?
has pretty much no one.
How's that guy not hitting those shots right there?
Sewer positions to start with.
Crazy.
Even if you do have the Newcastle wall, getting there too early is just putting yourself in a position where those walls can get shot out and you can get focused down by the other teams moving in. Speaking about moving in, NB coming in towards 9 Lives. This is all the way over at Galleria, nowhere near where the next zone will be going.
Oh, I'm stoned as shit.
Moved away, so
God damn.
chance for this to be a pretty isolated fight.
Envy do know that they were.
I've never had a panic attack from weed, knock on
They
wood.
wanted to seek out in the middle of that rotate, right? Because there was that ring console and survey by Galleria. Navi playing way more patiently, playing still out of Heights before moving through that jump tower that is on the outskirts of Heights, wrapping around 9 Lives. 9 Lives will be able to see them up in the air, but if they do take that northern rotate, which they are, Navi will be able to get that survey beacon, where Envy has also prioritized wrapping around 9 Lives. So that's going to be a fight to check out over on the east side. Zero already getting a knock onto Oirain. Aurora in trouble. The catwall was called in already from Aurora before Walty now moves up. They're looking to get aggressive. They're looking to start up their momentum already after getting that knock.
Yeah, Falcons dropping down in Viaduct don't have priorities to the zone. So
Kinda sucks that you almost had a panic attack though, like fuck. I mean, it's never a good time.
As they do it though, Atlas are sitting in zone in Street Market. That means there's a chance they're going to come in off the back of this. Falcons getting on the evac. Is that to chase more kills or is that to go into zone? It's a negative rotate. They're going towards them. Are they aware that Atlas are ahead of them?
I hear the crowd. It may be early, but
Here's thinking about how much stronger it's gonna be.
Cheers to Falcons to already kickstart things.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, edibles you can't really fuck around with, you know what I mean? I've known so many people that take an edible, like, oh, this shit ain't hitting, they take another one, and then like an hour later, they're just so comatose, they can't move.
In scrims coming up to land, and Falcons are going to be very happy to take that scalp early on.
Look at the contention points from that east side. Envy have been able to move away from Liquid Alienware, where their POI, I believe, is the outskirts of Lotus, where they had an Evil Harvester and a Survey Beacon, but you know what they didn't have? They didn't have a ring console, which is why they had to go out of their way from Lotus to the south side just to make sure where that next circle pool is going to be, and then they will approach that next zone.
Yeah, of course. It's usually how it goes, for sure. Just slowly kicking in more and more. You're sitting there like, when will it be over?
It's going to be hard, though. Once you have to forcibly put yourself in that next zone, you're going to be contested by X and Y that will be holding that northeastern side.
Okay, that's the ping onto the ring for them.
That's funny as fuck.
Playing for third beacon can be a smart one. That said, I don't think it's going to give them a lot of help in this situation, Vicky, because even the teams who haven't pinged that ring console are basically sitting within the third ring. They might not have the direct information, but they have guessed correctly.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me today, but I'm having a hard time seeing. You're good? I mean, shit, it doesn't sound like you were too good. It sounded like you almost had a panic attack.
This is one of the squads that rather falter the more that they have to play. They have to keep on point. So we take a look at Complexity, who have been able to hold that high ground of the second floor building. Monsoon taking a little bit of damage himself. There are going to be a lot of pokes here for the squads like Complexity that know that the circle is pulling over to their POI, because they have to secure this spot very early on, denying the opportunity of space from the other teams in the distance. But they are one of the teams also running the altar, so you know with that altar passive, you know that Funk is going to be able to get extra loot that they need out of the death boxes once they start appearing in front of them.
Yeah, look, sitting center zone, having an opportunity to ping people at long range. Sadly, Monsoon only able to get a triple take with a 2x there. So usually, if available to him, he will be on, the Senti, the charge rifle, finding one of those sniper optics.
Yo, what's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy?
And charge up his Evo from long range. Unfortunately, didn't get the loot he would have preferred in this game. FWG, one of our more unknown teams coming into this elimination bracket. I mean, look, they've made it into more than the top half of this land, but they've only got one life left. That's right, 10 teams will be progressing forward. 10 of these excellent teams that we have in this lobby not making it to the rest of today.
What I really like are the teams that aren't running the Callus are opting for that crypto. We have 4 cryptos in this lobby. Liquid Alienware do see that Void Nexus right in front of them.
Guys shooting the Void
Take care of that,
Nexus,
but
and
maybe
they
also
just
indicating
give away
to
their
9
position
Lives
in
that
the
there could
storm.
be a squad coming out from the edge
That's
of that
unfortunate.
zone. 9 Lives are going to be able to try to take that Void Nexus, reposition themselves into that next zone. They have that information, as you could already see, and where it's pulling. Smart from them too. That's what I really like about the plays that we've been seeing so far with the Altar and the Void Nexus. Being able to cover 2 POIs, basically, if you purposely space out these Void Nexuses, is amazing.
Yeah, so look at this. Liquid Alienware are currently in the zone. They hit the double scan, waiting there after that ring 3, after the ring 2 countdown. They hit the survey beacon and the ring console at the same time. It reveals everyone's positions as well as the ring information that almost no one else has. And now they can think about where to go next. Do they have the evac towers? Do they even have the abilities to get in there and get past 9 Lives and Envy though?
Unless they can make some magic happen with the Altar, right, and go for some cheeky rotates. But at least with the survey beacon that they scanned, they know that they were going to get circle kept by 9 Lives and Envy. So they're going to take a much roundabout rotate option outside of zone, while Envy looking to chase right behind 9 Lives, getting a little aggressive, being on full purple. They know they have the advantage with Zap. Getting Bean means that they're going to have to play a little bit more passive here. They don't like the situation that they're looking at. There is no other team that can come in for the third party unless a squad wants to give up their positioning, since they may have the Void Nexus themselves.
I like a regularized joint. But they're too stinky to smoke inside.
Here. So NV now noting that they do not want to get gate kept by 9 Lives, are going to be wrapping around to the southeast side. As we had noted, Liquid Alienware doing something very similar, but are going to be going through the choke.
You just make my own edibles, man. You just take oil and you just put it in the fucking sugar mixture.
We actually saw
Mix it around.
Void Nexus backwards after taking a little bit too much heat on their approach to the zone. So yes, they did manage to grab
Pour into a mold.
KP
Let it
so
set.
far, but it's going to be a very hard road for them. Many teams ahead of them. Now I really want to see how they're going to approach this entrance into the next zone. Let's listen in.
Let's front right. Like it's just in front of us. It's the end of the building. This is open. Looks like someone's in the bus. They're in the bus. They're playing Watson in the bus. We go building. Go building. Okay.
Envy dead.
Follow me. Found me? Yeah. Come forward. Come forward to the wall in front of me. Are me. I'm like 1. Ooh. We're good. I'm gonna get a wall down. Fuse off. I'm kidding. Gotta catch up left. Wall's good. No, I think so. Okay, I want to wall. Yeah. Team above us. Team above us. Team above us. Upside hitting. I have no Qs. Upside hitting. Have I netted? Nothing. Yep. 20, 30. That blues. Making a shot. No with you, Reese. No with you. Okay, no with you. Pick it to buff, guys. Ash, fucking fuse Watson. Fine. Above. Ultimate height. I think Q3 we can run the building, I think. Side of building. Okay, we get inside. We don't have wall. We don't have wall. No wall. How long? Give yourself. 66? No, he doesn't. Okay, wait for my second Q, I think we should go. I mean, I'm with you. We all have other abilities, yeah, Q? Yeah, I have Q. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have Q. Yeah, get to like under the building. Alright, ready? Yeah, fuck it. Come. Follow. Yeah, right door, guys. Right door. Yeah. In right door, guys. It's broke. I'm caveling it. Nice. Break the door. Saving. Batting. Are they holding? I can't tell. I'm going right. Come. Yep, coming. On the right. Careful. Gotta hold me. No attack. I'll play outside. I'm batting. Swinging.
Throw city.
Cracked him. 150. Play last.
How's the first to go down, though? It was a tricky situation. You heard the way
I'm gutted my device. I used to stream. The screen is damaged, and I never dropped it or anything, man. Dude, that's so shit. Shit ain't cheap either, you know?
This just leaves Zero alive. Can he get the reset? That is the question. Hiding right behind Hal's knockdown, getting rid of the cat spike. But Zero's low. He's trying to get right through the building. We know that there's still a team right above him. He's staying alive, keeping the dreams alive for Falcons.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough
Lucky.
spot to reset here. I don't think Zero will be able to pull that off, but oh my lord, is he actually...
Yo, dude, that's actually so shit, though, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Okay, Hal's back up. Anything is possible now. It was a really smart rotation from them. The issue was with the execution when they pushed into the building. I mean, we saw Waltzy there get caught off guard, throwing a grenade as the other team peeked, and it just took too much.
Like,
And then
what kind of screen is it and stuff?
Yeah, look, with 2 up, there is a very small chance that maybe they can get the res off or make something happen here. I mean, Zero and Hal together put out about as much damage as a lot of other teams of 3.
That guy's just letting an
That's
aid.
it. There's just so many other teams in this building. I think they're going to find it.
I love that he was inside.
I would be curious to see which perk Zero had opted to use on the altar, because it would be really clutch if they don't have a Moby here.
12.4
Considering
inches,
they
fair.
lost the Newcastle within their composition.
Fair.
Also counting their blessings, being able to get that res with Omit being on the other side, Orchid sharing this building, Atlas as well.
Oh, Samsung S9 Plus, isn't that a phone?
Complexity getting taken out. TSM forced their way in, and they're not the only ones too. TSM now in a lot of trouble. Skittlecakes having to go right down, taking advantage of the Void Passage. Duke getting sent down means that they won't have that Newcastle. They're going to be dancing around. Not only the Void Passage, but this squad, Arnev, that are trying to finish them off. They had gotten the initial knock ready, and Monster get eliminated in your feeds too. 13 squads left with so many teams, what, 5 teams
okay.
building alone?
Yeah, insanity. I mean, there was a boxing ring there, just set up behind the Newcastle wall. Fists coming out, fists flying, and Falcons still in.
Skittlecakes with some help from the ring after getting that knock onto Yuri. Yuri gets finished. You could even see that Zero did not have any shield bats to work with. Lacking on some loot here. While Atlas now move up from the height.
Zone closing in on them as well, so
Oh,
Falcons
shit.
can no longer sit in that
Wow,
corner. You
Ultra's
see
so
them
good.
trying to make some creative rotations here.
When our Qs
with the
actually
Void
work.
Passage, but now even Zero goes down, and Hal just has to get a catwalk to try and move into the next part of the zone.
And that was after the reset from Team Liquid Alien, where Nuzul getting that finishing blow onto Zero, leaving Hal the last one alive. He's only got 1 bat to work with. He slides out. He looks at Rambo. He doesn't want to take that Void Passage in front of him. Instead, he's forced to take some circle damage. Get out of the path less traveled by. They
Wow,
saw, they
yeah.
heard him. They had to have heard him. And with 1 shot of the PK, Omit finish off Falcons. They go down in 10th in this first game.
Landon, do you still play zombies? Yeah, I play zombies from time to time. Good to see you, buddy. I still smoke, yeah.
But 9 Lives are the team that is looking good here.
The pressure I put on when you're playing? What do you mean the pressure you put on it? Do you like grabbing your TV or something? Oh, yeah, it's a tablet. I'm retarded. It's a tablet. Yeah, could be. Could be. I mean, excuse me, sorry. I mean, you probably put a lot of time in on that thing too, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's just wear and tear, you know? This guy just throws a bat, like, right in the middle of the open. He could have just, like, jumped and threw it to him.
Look at all of the teams set up here, whether it's behind a Watson pile.
This would be a good circle for a Watson, no lie.
They're feeling safe for the moment, but now as the final round closes, they're
going
to lose
yeah.
their cover very shortly.
The Watson could come in clutch. There's no more crypto left in the locker.
Yeah, just some wear and tear, probably.
Crypto player here. Something to note. Well, Atlas unleashed the mother load. Void Passage tries to take a nice cheeky fight here for Corinthians, but they lost out on ones. The
Wow.
mother load, though, putting in so much pressure. Atlas stay alive.
They gotta try and res homeboy there.
Dolphin sliding in with the P20s, leaving that player one shot, dashes in with the Ash, tries to get the reset, but
Damn.
you can't get the res. You have to think
He had time to
you were
reset.
also able to get the reset here too from Team Orchid.
But he fucking decided to run inside and get the kill. Unfortunate.
But now we've got Liquid Alien where only Nizzle alive. He does
Damn.
actually finish off 9 lives, so they take over the east side.
That's
of
actually
the
nice.
zone. And GG, who have been lying in wait, are looking to try and pick off the last 2 members of Team Orchid.
Now Gaming Gladiators, a full 3-man squad slides
Really
in
good
here.
kill.
T-Law trying to
They've got a wall, they gotta put it down.
That could get all 3
I don't think they have one, though.
And alive. Gaming Gladiators have the health advantage, but they don't see if it's worth trying to close in this gap. They put up the cat wall instead, splitting this final zone in the middle.
genius. Look at this.
It's actually pretty good, though.
Not only are they split, they're on the same side as Gaming Gladiators. That means that GG can either pick off the solo or just wait for the other two teams to cannibalize each other.
Just griefing.
An incredible catwalk hopefully should give the win to GG here, unless
GG right now just walking in to clean up what's left for game number.
into the most
Got the reset, played patiently outside of zone.
Damn,
Still
21
able to
points.
secure 5K P2 for themselves
Not bad.
at this
to be adjusted moment.
Skip all this bullshit. Just watch the games, man.
Area 51.
Yeah, and you know, as we took you through that final zone, right, just because of how much of a factor he was in those final fleeting moments. Catalyst very much the same now, and as a result, she will be the first out of this lobby.
The ping pong around the legend bands, a new rule that we have here within the ALGS that has provided us such great diversity in these legend comps. No more cat on the board within the next 6 series.
Yeah, and maybe, you know, just for any viewers who have
What you been saying, Landon? You're still here?
hard at work and they've just tuned into some ALGS for the first time. Yeah, we've got legend bands now, by the way. As
Have
we
you played
progress throughout the
BO6?
series,
Yeah, bro. I got it
3
here.
legend
I bought it, brother. Where's Steam? I got that shit. Where's it? Call of Duty right there. Yep. It's alright, you know what I mean? It's nothing insane.
in every game is going to be removed, and teams will have to change up their composition. It's been an awesome change. As we see at the top of the screen, you can see the ban. Clearly it's happened already. And it's changed the compositions up of everyone in the lobby, or most teams in the lobby. As you can see, a lot more Fuse coming in. That's because they still want access to the ring console that Catalyst was giving them, but they can't choose that character anymore. And then some, they sort of
You
take
dig
that
the
bug
zombies?
they
Yeah, I
make
feel that, I
listed
feel it.
with them. You can see that in a few teams.
I mean,
here.
it's got good
being
bones,
banned around maybe
but it could be so much
round
better,
3
you know what I
or
mean?
4.
That's my opinion.
And they start just saying, okay, we're going to play
The
a
high
more
rounds are pretty
aggressive
dog shit.
composition. Obviously, still a lot of Alta.
Honestly.
In here. I think that is going to be the next band coming out with 15 teams picking Alta. As
The
does
guns are
the
fun.
obvious
The guns feel nice though.
It's also interesting to note with Rampart being picked too in this lobby, it's the counterplay against the Newcastle, melting down that Newcastle wall being the name of the game here. For a lot of the squads that have to find some respite behind the safety of that Newcastle to reposition. YBR team already on their rotate, GG neighboring them as we are moving all the way over to that north side. If you guys caught where that next zone pool is going to be happening, over by Dam.
Are there any clues?
And you know the teams that have that high ground advantage, X and Y, having that
No.
POI, being able to stay on that high ground, seeing that survey beacon, it's going to allow them to look down at the teams that may have a difficult time rather going through those choke points, thinking specifically of Liquid Alien.
Zombies
but
are
that
alright.
their POI that have the ring
I like the
concept.
map with the giant squid monster. I can't remember. Terminal, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
that's- you know, I always love that.
Terminus?
It's going
Terminus.
somewhere else. We get to see something different. Different teams get priority.
What
to
am I
the
playing?
zone.
Well, I'm watching Apex Legends, and I'm playing RuneScape. It's called RuneScape. It's kind of like an MMORPG. You know, you got all these skills you gotta level up. You got your strength, make you hit harder. You got your attack, make you more accurate. Defense, obviously defense. Your hit points. You got your magic, your range. You got really put back Apex. Yeah, I will. You got your rune crafting here, which will like allow you to obviously craft runes for magic. You got construction for so you can build your house and stuff. Hunter, just kind of fucking useless, honestly. Slayer, just being able to fight different bosses and stuff. Right now, right now I'm trying to get to level 95, or at least 92 actually, so I can kill some Iraq sites, get some of the best gear in the game. Fire and wood cutting, just kind of useless shit. Cooking, obviously, to cook the fish that you fish. Smithing, make gear with it. You know what I mean? Make like the best gear. Well, not the best, but like some good gear.
And it feels a little fairer, you know? It's
Pretty fun
always
game.
rough when the team comes out and says, look, the zone pulled, you know, as far away as it possibly could for us 3
talk to.
times in a row. What chance did I really
I
have
cancel this
in
task.
series?
See the pings here from Navi.
Fuck saves.
Teams making their way here. Already 5 teams or so in that next zone. Heroes making their rotate away from Energy Bank. Gonna be able to play objective to get that ring console. Well, Arneb looking at a team right across from them. There is that survey beacon, the team in front of them already scanned it. So they do know that Arneb are right behind
Oops. Rewards.
So Mitt, I think, close by. Nefu's gonna go for the portal. Old man RKN.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Okay, gonna set up the fences here just in case they decide to come back through that. Doubt we'll be seeing that. I think Arneba happy to move further in towards the ring now.
It's always nice to see our legends come back into full form in competition. Seeing RKN compete once again throughout his progress in Pro League now here within the ALGS Open. Feeling very confident.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I remember, previous LAN finalist. So certainly he's been able to turn up and show that some of that experience.
This fucking Australian dude is extremely hungover or some shit, bro. Because he cannot talk today. Usually he's pretty decent, but this guy's fucked up or something.
Seeing the team right in front of them, taking some shots. They do have.
My man was out in NOLA, partying a little bit too much, you know?
Know where this next zone is going to be pulling, as they have that ring console information, as you can see on that mini map.
Tournament? Yeah, this is a LAN tournament, yeah.
In front of them. That could be Corinthians, actually, because they wanted to get information off of the beacon. That's
Oh, sorry, Rocky, I'm coming, buddy. I'm coming, little man.
Storm, I always say. Zesty Besties trying to
My
chase down that
apologies.
team, though. You saw the residual rift that was left behind.
Yeah, I
by the
locked you
squad
out.
that ended up repositioning with the
apologies.
Void Nexus.
I know.
See, light in the
Unbelievable.
feed, also being able to get that knock onto Yuri.
Unbelievable.
That was FWG there. Pulled out of the fight with Zesty Besties, and they might have wanted their Void Nexus up just in an effort to be able to move forward, but they're gonna have to walk in on foot here as they
I just
get
need an herb sack
unlocked.
and a bunch of prayer pots.
That was from Zesty Besties. Okay, so they've traded here, and now we're seeing some Void Nexus action here. I think they actually portaled forward there just in an effort to try and get a different angle onto Zesty Besties.
It's great hold too from Dark. You see him on the high ground trying to give suppress fire while the rest of his team is trying to reset entirely the rest of FWG.
This is like
That's
the
best
elimination
they
round,
were able to pull
actually.
reset now, trying to close
The
up
bottom
gap.
10 teams go home.
Dark moving back to the rest of his squad, but while holding a different angle. Deadly's now trying to get Deadly. Newcastle barrier put up.
The fuck did I put my phone?
Also having to wonder, could there be a third party in the vicinity? The Void Nexus have been called in.
I don't even know.
To appear on the other side before getting that knock onto Voodoo.
It's
A lot
unfortunate.
more action at the start of this game. You can see across the board. Teams getting into it both within the circle, and also there's a cluster of about 6 or 7 teams, and the Falcons are coming in from the south as well. So Zesty Besties.
I don't even know where I put it. What the fuck? It should be like right around here.
Nice little isolated
Would
fight
put-
here on the side.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're
Huh,
ready for
damn.
Falcons, for Monster, for Corinthians, for Liquid. Like, there's a lot of teams in this area.
That's the risk when you take a
I'll
fight.
find it in a
that
bit.
takes so long here. Now other teams want to get involved. They want to try to get some easy KP. If they can find the opportunity in terms of the timing, as Zero has right now before sliding in, getting the knock. Hal though gets melted, having to back away, pop the shield bat. This is one of the teams, though, that do not have the Void Nexus. Probably put it down somewhere behind them, but you could see Zero not having that Void Nexus just yet for the second time around.
Monster, despite being close by, having some trigger discipline here. They don't decide to get involved in this fight. They definitely could have sent that onto Falcons or one of the other teams, but They actually make their way towards the
Oh
ring
no.
instead. Meanwhile, RKN, as soon as we talk him up, fortunately is going to leave a death box behind in the zone for Na'Vi to pick over. And as they do that, maybe both teams actually there were trying to fight over that ring console. Bit hard to know without the lead up, but seems like a plausible explanation of why they're both so
The one team's like all the way over here in the storm.
have a look
Fuck.
at it, as it really does continue to pull towards Electro Dam. How much of the height is still in will be a big factor. If it means a team like Team Orchid can stay up there for the longest time, it's one of those places where you just have such a massive height disparity.
They're fighting in the storm and they're not showing it. Please show it. Thank you.
KP galore for the team that sits up there with a few sites.
I've seen a few end zones pulled towards whether it be the west side of Electro Dam, still on that low ground, and then towards the right houses that are very open by that one zip line that has that one big zip line that could lead you to high ground on the right side. YBR are actually banking on that zone pulling to the southeast, which would be way better for them because they've already secured that building early. Zesty Bestie's going in for the res, getting both their teammates up. Isolated here, but FWG are still in the zone getting that replicator. You see it? They see the res. Took that away too from FWG trying to reset, so now taking way longer to try to get into that next zone as it closes in.
Mutually assured destruction from these two teams. I mean, Zesty Bestie
2200 now? That's crazy. The first man to overdose on marijuana.
But because Zesty Besties get in there to start with, it means that they've got a much better chance of keeping FWG out, who now have to go even further into zone to look for a potential respawn.
I will say X and Y being one of the first teams to go down, no, being literally the first team to go down was important because their POI is Electro Dam, right? And Team Orchid have now taken up that space instead. They will instead be on the high ground, as you can see here, noting where that next zone could be pulling and having that information.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about how important those spots up the top are. TSM, they're not all the way up the top. You can see they're very well situated.
Bro, can I hit a shot? Jesus.
Building a fortress inside. Void Nexus behind the castle wall, supported by the amped cover. Meanwhile, mid-map, we've got Monster coming up against Aurora this time. Their run ended early by Falcon.
Any good options? Yeah, look up PCBM. Here. PC part picker, and this site here will show you how to build your computer and what will work with what.
Abels and someone else here in game 2.
The Mythic Bin will be spawning once this circle closes, right on top of Aurora.
I'll tell you everything you need to know. I swear to God.
I mean, if you think back to how they played the lifeline in times past, Vicky, it was the stay well away from the zone, get up to purple, spawn in the respawn, the care package from Lifeline, and grab your Evo cash and your free, care package weapon that way. Unfortunately, that's no longer in the game, but they'll get the next best thing, which is the Mythic Bin.
A lot to break down too. We also saw FWG get the full res on the squad.
Much appreciated. No worries, bro. Here to help.
Same thing for TSM. There is no ring.
Hope it works out for you.
Right? So you're really banking.
What kind of PC are you looking to build?
To reveal where other teams have predicted where that zone's going to be pulling, and guess what? It's pulling over to the west side of that zone, not towards that little building that we were looking at for YBR instead, but Falcons are kind of in that southern east side, looking at YBR more secured on the left buildings here by the crates.
Now, this the spot the Falcons have got set up here, right? They're playing the Rampart and the Newcastle. This is actually a very good spot for that composition, I'd say. It's a lot of teams will win from this spot, but it's not easy to hold. What you really need here is for your Rampart player to be very aggressive. They need to be shooting down the other Newcastle walls again and again to make sure that they're not doing the same to you, essentially, right? It's about how much pressure you can exert on the area around you so that they're not doing the same in reverse. So a good spot for Falcons, but
What's up, Zombie?
see if they can hold on to it.
Aurora flying in now. trying to
2
get
minutes?
ahead
What do
with
you mean
their
2
fight.
minutes?
Looking at Monster on the other side of
2 minutes for
Galleria, where
what?
there's a survey beacon and a ring console. You could expect the southern rotating teams to go there as FWG take too much damage. They lose out from the ring. They felt pressure from another team trying to match some Corinthians now moving up. Heroes were trying to gatekeep them originally as well. And now Zesty Besties.
Play some
looking
Apex
at
in a few?
Complexity
Yeah,
as
it's just
Corinthians
cock and
are
ball
safe within
torture.
that next zone. They had been able to get that ring console, so that's why they're going to be looking at this fight to try to see if they can hold this position before.
I'm gonna watch
to
some
try to go for a
Apex.
third party.
Complexity, fan favorites, only 2 points right now. They're in trouble. Monsoon has to pull away. Tries to hide behind the castle wall. But it's not
Damn,
enough.
Complexity just getting
Zesty
dick.
Besties will find the angle and they'll
Their
find the
mojos
kill
just shot
to
after losing that
Complexity.
3v3.
2 points.
A 3v2.
They are now behind the 8 ball.
They stay besties and hate it out here with a 4 KP leading away with kill leader. 6 total KP for this team that had been able to get that reset. A great journey to look for this second game for this team.
Now we did briefly mention that FW
Or Alienware. I didn't see the first option. I'm sorry.
That's 'cause they took more damage
I don't
from
see the first
ring
option there.
From all the other teams they fought combined, by the way.
Looks nice, huh? Alienware? I have an Alienware monitor.
1,300 damage from the ring in a single game. A lot of medkits. A lot of medkits.
Especially when you just respawned, right? Good luck.
Throw a nade. Oh, they got the wall.
Atlas looking at Envy. While G Dolphin tries to get into position. I like the way that they're trying to play this, holding a split angle, trying to divert that attention onto multiple members, while G Dolphin tries to be the entry bagger here, but isolated, he loses out on the fight,
Damn.
missing these crucial P20 shots.
That's rough.
Tryhard Thor now slides in, puts down that knuckle cluster, looking at Zap that has the high ground, now playing off of the AC unit. Sykes drops down, they try to isolate him, they do get that knock, but they take the Envy just have the health advantage. They take care of Atlas, going down in 15. Envy stay alive.
I don't see your first option. I just see Alienware. Like, look here, I'll show you from my perspective. All I see is or Alienware. You know what I mean? There's nothing in between.
Spots yesterday, but just weren't able to convert. He said there are a couple of games where they had, 20 points were on the table in front of them, and then they go down. They go down too early and they don't convert. He felt sick at the time, but Team Orchid, they're looking sick at times throughout this tournament, especially Panic, who is he? He's not going to take the gravity cannon.
No. He's just trying to get out of the line of sight.
Oh my god. It looks like he's on it. I'm surprised it's not firing right now.
Just a little bit on the crumb side, the pixel of the stairs before you take that gravity cannon, staying alive. I mean, he really had no choice. Once you're forced to drop down, that's the thing about being on Electro Dam. Yep. You have little to no cover once all these teams have already congregated on the bottom side of that dam.
Ooh, zone does shift away from Falcon, so it's a little.
Oh, nice shot. Breaking the little drone.
Just gonna have to shield some people on the way into the next zone. Oh my god, YBR. Trying to play from their little corner, but Nine Lives are peeking them. I don't know if they really want to take this fight. They kind of don't have much of an option, I suppose. They're stuck down below. Can they even get out of this without using the Ultra Q to get it onto high ground? This is a crazy spot.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard. Also, I've been seeing easy flashes popping off with the Kraber since like 2 circles ago. Getting now the headshot on Sakura. Team Liquid Alienware go down a lot earlier than what we saw in game number 1. Rambo literally one shot though, dancing before the 30-30 had hit him.
What?
Heroes were talking about easy flash before. Also
I don't know.
by the 30-30. These
Why?
drones, I believe we have like 4 cryptos that
No, I have no idea.
in this lobby.
I have no idea.
I think putting a thorn on their side. Heroes being one of the teams having that crypto, but where do you even go? And literally everyone is trying to look at you. He can't even get into cover.
They usually wear like sweats and
Down,
stuff.
leaving just a crypto player here. You're gonna try to hide behind the knockdown shield, go invisible if you have that second perk from the blue Evo shield. Falcons also are lighting up the feed.
I mean, Heroes are mid-zone right now, but they don't have a new.
As buy close up fit, I don't really look at the size, you know?
In this lobby, not playing that legend.
That makes sense.
Playing from the exact spot that you need him in. They do not have cover from multiple angles, and it just seems like it's an impossible situation there from Heroes as they're eliminated in 10th place.
The KP here from Falcons, 4 KP in their pockets, and Zero's got the
Oh,
Kraber,
dude, what the fuck?
Got it like that. He does not hit the hit fire shots on the Kraber, now only leaving Waltzy alive as he tries to get the reset with the Newcastle. Here comes Kazakh dropping down with the slam on the Newcastle himself. It's only really up to Waltzy to try to clutch it out.
Yeah, he's just trying to res to even buy himself time. It's not even necessarily to actually get the teammates up.
Shield swap.
He just wants some cover, but he can't. He can't do it. Aurora will take them, and they'll take some extra KP. Maybe even here against 9 Live. No! Cersei pulls it off. He'll grab the shield swap, and as soon as he does, they go down as well.
Look who's looking at them. It's GG. Safe once again in the best position, the less contested position. Meanwhile, look at the compound that they're looking at. Right across the field, you have Zesty Besties, Navi, Monster that will eventually have to collapse on each other, whereas GG don't have anybody to worry about on their side of zone.
This is looking like it's going to be a back-to-back here for GG, but don't count your chickens just yet. The other teams are full. They've got positions they can play for. There are altars available.
Oh, with the mother low, getting that crack to do the initial damage though. Uchako's the only one left here from Navi. He looks behind him. It's not enough to do it because Monster now dropped down with the Altar Void Passage, trying to get aggressive, trying to third party the fight that was inevitable on the low ground. But Light with the Kraber shot, sending down one of the members of Monster.
Oh, he almost kidnapped him.
The Void Passage up the top. They get behind the Newcastle, trying to res here.
Hit him.
And
Oh.
Gladiators
do it again.
go for the style shot to
Damn.
finish it off.
Oh, they're feeling himself. He misses it again. It's fine. It's for the style points. It's just for the style points because you know that Gaming Gladiators with their position go in for the back-to-back winning game number 2.
Bam. Gotta hit those. Those double pistols be slapping? Sean, those double pistols are just fucking stupid. So I'm not even playing the game anymore. It's just so annoying to play against.
Gaming Gladiators over there at Canal Plaza, just above the Energy Bank. And obviously we've had 2 zones on the north.
And between them and that gap is 9 Lives, sitting in 2nd place with 22 points. And then our next legend band, of course, going forward being the Ultra.
Have I ever puffed on moon rocks? I mean, I've made them before, bro. You know what I mean? It's just weed nugs that are rolled in oil and then keef.
You know, that little that pattern that we've noticed, whether it's either sort of first or not at all. And I actually did catch up with Waltzy briefly on his way to the stage, and I was, you know, asking them, you know, Falcons haven't looked the best when they've had Newcastle running throughout the whole series. And he was saying, yeah, well, you know, you don't really want to pick Crypto unless Newcastle is out of the lobby already. And he was saying, I feel so good on Crypto. I can contribute so much to the team. I'm making all these calls. It feels like I'm almost back to being, you know, my IGL.
Or is that against chat policy? What do you mean?
I can't do that on Newcastle. It's really up to the other guys.
Is what against chat policy?
We've certainly seen them yeah, just struggle a little bit in these types of lobbies, and it's kind of tough because it's got nothing to do with you. It just depends on what the other teams prioritize.
It's not like they know, right, what the compositions that these teams are going to be rocking afterwards. It's just speculation based off of the pacing of how a lot of these lobbies have really progressed. You had mentioned beforehand where we usually see Ballistic more later in the series. It varies on which map we start off with too. And since we don't have Altar, we do see a little bit more Ballistic, couple that together with the Fuses as well as Wraith, Watson.
The dead center circle. That's nasty.
Yeah, we are going to buck that trend though. Newcastle will be the next legend band. He's in, let's have a look, 60% pick rates are actually quite low. Considering we're only at the 3rd game here, 12 picks for Newcastle is actually a relatively low amount for a legend to get banned. You still see it sometimes up to, you know, 15, 16 teams picking the same thing going into match 3. So yeah, look, maybe a bit of a reprieve for Falcons as we were talking about. We can see some of those more aggro comps like the Crypto that they tend to succeed on.
It's also interesting to note that Wraith having that 45% pick rate, Ash being the 40% pick rate, allows you to enable a lot of more of that aggressive behavior, also the repositioning potential that you have. As we take a look at where that zone
Surprised
was
Ash
to,
doesn't
by the
get
way, it's
banned
gonna be
more.
over to that northeast energy bank side. Teams already getting ahead. Arneb noting that since they have that, Watson getting that information off that ring console scan, trying to dance around that charge rifle. You see the pings are going to just land right directly in the middle of Energy Bank. And they're not alone here too, right? Heroes are flying right over Energy Bank where there is a ring console. Some of these teams could deny that information from the teams that will try to situate themselves here early, Omit being one of them since they're going through their pathing from where the Evil Harvester is after a quick rotate north side of draft points.
Ooh, very central zone pull here with it coming into Energy Bank. It's
Good observation, my man.
Energy Bank. I mean, we
Bro,
were
I swear to God, this guy, this Australian dude, he was out partying last night for sure.
Send 2 members out, charge your Evo up very quickly, but also you just do tend to get a lot of pulls middle.
This man's
on
scatterbrained.
this map. And teams, they've definitely recognized this. All the ones surrounding it have come to the north side of Energy Bank already. Teams like Omit.
Got quads LTM.
Love to
Must
turtle
be
up.
dumb.
You can see that. You can tell it directly from their composition because they've got Newcastle and they've got Watson.
Can we get free Apex? Apex packs?
Ricky also going for that. A couple of other teams will use Watson instead of Newcastle, which is also an interesting option considering that we've got more cryptos creeping into the lobby now.
Envy looking to take a fight after activating the ballistic ult here too. Zap putting down the knuckle cluster. I believe he also had, that mother load available to him, but same thing could be said about Navi as Uchaku also unleashes a mother load. Nice crack here while trying to enable Zidane to make the entry frag play, so reposition to
No free packs,
them,
damn.
forcing them to completely back away. It hurts Zidane actually moving up, and now with them backing away, they're giving some space between themselves and the rest
Everyone
of Navi.
spawns in a set spot. Yeah, see, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get rid of the fucking jump ship, and they're gonna have just designated spawns.
I think that's one of the nice map design changes we've had
Be done.
as well. You know, Evo Harvesters, survey beacons being everywhere, 100%.
I mean, it'd be cool in ranked,
Just means
but
that there's more
not in pubs.
objectives for teams to fight over, right? So it means even if you are trying to get to zone, even if you are...
So not the main mode? Yeah, I know, but that's what they do, is they test out the things they want to implement into the, like, in the LTMs, you know what I mean? And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make that the new jumping method. You just get that specific little area you can land in, instead of giving you the jump ship. Guarantee it. Watch. Watch. Guarantee it, bro.
They know where the other teams were, and they wouldn't want to roll the dice, take that kind of gamble.
Or we'll see some ready, honestly, some ready plays in general, but with Hambino getting that knock onto Skitto. Does Jet have it here? No, he doesn't.
If I could bet on DraftKings, I'd be betting on DraftKings for that shit right now. 10 grand.
Very unfortunate situation for TSM. Being the first squad to go out here on E-District.
100%.
The last game on E-District at that.
So that's 8 points on E-District overall for TSM. That's not a good result. Or T-Husm, as I like to call them. And yeah, look, honestly, it kind of doesn't feel like an Apex LAN without TSM here, right? So I'm glad that they picked up these guys. Ever since they got so close to winning the LAN, I think it was when they were, you know, the Optic roster back then, but I've always felt like, you know, Dupe and Skittles deserved, you know, really, another really high performance run, another deep run into the tournament.
Real ones, the OGs remember ESA. Real ones remember the Dupe, Skittle, and Verhulst, by the way. That goes way, way back. But of course, as you highlighted, you know, Skittle
Way
and
back.
Dupe having that history that
6
they
years
have,
ago.
but not going to be able to showcase it here for at least this third game.
5 years ago or some shit.
Oh wow, and they actually had first pick on E-District and Blossom Drive. So they're going on to their second round draft pick at Wall for Storm Point. That's, okay. Got your work cut out for you, TSM.
FWG on the run looking at X and Y, who are together in Lotus. Envy still trying to take some of these fights, playing more so on the edge. We know that this squad likes to be objective heavy rather, looking at Monster, who could get pinched in a situation like this.
Just jamming out. jamming out on the guitar.
Wouldn't surprise you.
Vibes.
Yeah, no, I
You'd also
guarantee
see
you
if
they're
they
gonna do it.
could try to go in for a third party. They saw that there was no engagement. Saw the ring pull too, by the way. They have a minute.
It
and
might
now
just be in
45
ranked,
seconds or
but-
so to make their next move. Zesty Besties trailing right behind Monster.
These two teams both playing very much edge.
I'll be right back. Rock, you on the downstairs? I want you, little man.
Ew.
That's why they've been close to each other for pretty much 3 games in a row, following each other around to, you know, as we were talking about before, all the objectives, they're just grabbing the same Evo.
You rank need something like that in your opinion?
They're
The same.
constantly just pinging each other.
Make it a little bit more tolerable. Instead of just fucking having some team like just hot drop late on you. Or not hot drop, sorry, just late on you and shit. Shit pisses me off.
Waiting for them over to the north side, and then they could just gatekeep Monster or Zesty Besties, or even better, third party while still holding a better position in that next zone.
But one buddy literally stopped playing the game because of that. We'd be playing ranked in every game, someone would just fucking late land on us. Literally for a full day. Like, yeah, I'm not playing this shit anymore. And he hasn't played it to this day.
Fully committing to moving back, having that right too.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 4 arcs left. They do get the first knock to Xiaoyi here. So Zesty Besties, surely they have to send this, but Monster are already as far away as they can possibly be. They'll get out with just the 1 loss there.
He got deleted right there once he was
this guy's cooked.
down. That was Panic coming through to slide in with the Akimbo P20s, becoming the kill leader in the lobby, wiping out that squad. Team Orchid dropping down just briefly before coming right back up, where they've been securing the high ground of this building from the very beginning too, right? Ambino has been there holding it down to make sure no squad will fly in and take that place from them, like Navi now coming out. Landing right alongside Atlas, it looks like G-Dolphin hearing that. Falcons having the high ground, though. They're literally getting destroyed by 2 different teams pressuring them.
Zero as well. I thought they were going to triple man land on him, and he doesn't back away, though. He plays with all of the arrogance and the impressive show of force that we know he's capable of here. His teammates backing him up.
This guy is definitely hungover or some shit. I swear to God.
A bunch of abilities to get you out of dodge if you really need to, and you can see there, no point holding onto the portal if you can make it safely back to your team. I like the spot that they're playing from there, you know, playing from those, that central building in Energy Bank. A lot of teams later will pile in underneath you, and it just gives you a lot of opportunities to pick up KP. Falcons love to be in a spot like that.
Liquid Alienware get the full reset for now. They were hiding in a corner, a pixel of their foot just poking out while GG were looking at them. And GG have to split their attention at Orchid, who are on their other side,
Delicious slice of pizza. My God.
To trying to finish off the
Hit spot.
after they got the 2 additional knocks onto Liquid Alienware. Making some plays.
600K.
Trying to help out the rest of Liquid Alienware. They also have the information on where that next ring is going. You heard the Sentinel shot from a distance, missing out on hitting Nizul. opting to try to rotate all the way around here. I do like this option because you could try to secure some KP for the late rotating teams from X and Y and FWG if you don't like your current position. But since this zone is pulling right on top of them, this is even better.
The fuck
than
is
Liquid
that?
Aliens' Wear case if they can secure this position or at least gatekeep the squads coming out of the choke, looking at Corinthians and FWG.
Yeah, definitely some options there for Liquid to think about. Na'Vi finished off by Falcons in the meantime, and Zone pulls northwest. So that means teams like Liquid Alienware, despite only having that very small sliver of space to themselves, it's within the next zone, so it could actually work out. FWG, once again, being forced into a late rotate, ugly position, so they do get closed out early.
Highlighting Liquid Alienware, it's the same case that you mentioned, you know, about Falcons if you look at their composition, right? They have to secure that positioning, and they have the Rampart or Newcastle to do so. That's really the best case scenario for yourself. If you're looking at the teams in front of you, if you get pinched, you could play off of that middle plant console that you've already found some security in, while Falcons looking to get a lot more aggressive, still holding the middle side of Energy Bank. They don't really know where that next zone's pulling because they haven't really given up this building over to the south side of Energy Bank, despite there being a ring console over to the east side.
And I'm sure they're still hoping at this point that the zone comes back towards them, but in a minute or so they'll know it's not. At that point, will they be hoping that they kept a bit more of the Sheila to try and punch through some walls as they have to make their rotation? Will they be able to do enough damage with an accelerator stock weapon perhaps to charge that back up? Because there's Atlas underneath them, there's Omit to their east. There's going to be a couple teams in between them and this next zone.
Imagine being Aurora stuck in a shoebox while Hal just lets it unleash with the Sheila. Any little crevice while you're trying to work off of the only cover that you built up for yourself. Not in a bad position though for Aurora, only because they're on that south side. They will get gate kept by Heroes unless they can make magic happen, and working off the low ground by the bridge that leads out of Energy Bank. Envy, talking about some low ground, looking behind them. See if they can catch any stragglers, because there is a team now approaching in their line of sight before we do the quick cutaway into where this zone is going to be pulling.
Yeah, you get the overview of it though, right? That was Corinthians, obviously, that was just walking into their view. Do they know Zesty Besties are hiding behind? Maybe they were hoping that there'd be like a
Are you barking at me again?
on the other side of this wall that was still in, and then they could play that and maybe, you know, make a late rotation. I mean, obviously, Alter, that's not available in this game, but it's not going to work out. Any way that they can go into this ring is going to be ugly. Meanwhile, Falcons, they've made the proactive move here. They're actually going to go in to try and take this building off.
Oh, what a nade.
Can they do it uncontested? Hal always so good with the nades. Will put down Easy Flash first, and then they dash in for the finish off. A lot of Falcons fans in the crowd. We can hear them very happy about them taking this important position. But do they get the reset in time? Because Atlas are right on top of them.
I mean, they did that so smooth, absolutely. They really barely took any damage in that fight off of that beautiful nade that we saw from Falcons. They got the 2 initial knocks and then immediately cleaned up that last player from the opposing team. So they'll be able to secure that building. They don't have the information, again, where that zone is going to be pulling. We do. We know that it's going over to that northwest side. Gaming Gladiators continuously still hold one of the best positions in these end zones, by the way. Uncontested on the north side. Envy losing out on drop, but they do get the trade off of the other knock here. Sliding out is Zap, trying to get the finishing blow, but you have to look behind you. There's still another player. It is Hated, and we've seen that he's been able to frag out. And Envy can't clutch! Envy can't clutch! You gotta put some respect onto Hated, who continuously keeps trying to clutch out these fights.
Envy, bro. Just getting pissed on.
It's so irritating when you're playing against a Newcastle in those situations. You know you have to.
I wish I could hear Drops comms right now.
Otherwise, teams
Probably
are
so,
gonna
man.
third party you. He's just juking back and forth in front of his mobile shield. He's gonna die, but he's wasting your time, and then you die as well.
Oh, Nizul! Nizul is going crazy! I saw him lining up the feed before. He was already harassing Aurora. He drops down.
No way, he's got to reload.
Goes on the other side of that Wraith border. Unintentionally, though, he's forced to back away, but he knows that they were so low originally. But you don't want to try to overextend.
Wouldn't be surprised if he dies.
Way more squads now with Falcons being on the other side of Aurora. You don't want to give up this position. You still want to help out your teammates to reset.
Falcons firing away at Aurora here. They think that's their ticket into the next zone, and they'll actually finish them off. This buys them some space and some time, but they're not. It's not job done just yet. Meanwhile, Liquid Alienware going in against Corinthians here. If Falcons identify this, that's the spot they want to take.
Nizul playing with confidence today. We see you, Nizul, getting another knock. Well, Curve plays a little bit more passively with that G7. Shot at Nizul. That's how locked in they are. That he looked at Nizul and took a few warning shots at his own teammate.
Yeah, there is. I think there's actually a bug at the moment where Wraith, you can't tell whether she's friend or foe, basically, right? The outline's not there. It's a jump scare sometimes. I know I've definitely fallen prey to it.
Be your own, be your own. While Hal gets a knock onto Jaguares, though. Not the look here for that Tila want to hold in this.
Should they be Sheilaing them?
To imagine with the Sheila just letting it unleash. Not giving up the space here while Falcons also look behind them, because you also imagine the teams that could walk up behind them. Atlas, Complexity if they want to wrap around. Liquid Alienware looking to get the reset with Kira being literally one shot.
So that's X and Y on the other side here. They're looking to take out Liquid, and if they can maybe just get a little bit of help from Falcons.
Damn, they're pinched.
Spots away, take away sightlines from either side. Falcons and X and Y can probably walk into this next part of the zone.
Monsoon, no surprise, also has been lining up the P, getting knocks with that Sentinel. Hal with no attachments aside from that 2x4 on the triple take.
This is where you'd love to have the ult and just pull them out of that box, right? Because you.
Wayne, what's up? What am I watching? This is Apex Legends. There's like a tournament going on right now.
Just get dove on immediately with the Ash TP.
Wayne, what are you saying, buddy?
Onto Jaguares, Karib, leaving Nizul as the last one alive, sliding in, getting him off to the side. Liquid Alienware get taken out. X and Y now looking at Falcons who have taken the Liquid Alienware position.
X and Y didn't have any points going into this game, and now they've got a center zone position.
Gaming Gladiators go out in 7th. Omit take that fight against them to take the positioning that they were holding from the beginning. Falcons stay alive while Waltzy resets with the med kit. Look at the P20 seeing X and Y get eliminated. The crowd.
Man, it's so stupid watching the P20s. There's like no skill.
Omit Funk incredibly low for now. Monsoon trying to get that suppressed fire here, trying to shoot at Cody with that Volt. But you talk about lackluster loot. Look at the weapons that they have to work with. They come out on top of this fight.
Well, a little update for you guys. Imperial Hal currently has 2k damage, but it's Zero who seems to be stealing a couple of the kills from him. He's got 9 to himself right now, and they want even more. After taking out X and Y, they push up to the middle of the zone, and then all of these little tree spots here that they can play behind, as well as Hal putting up the amped cover. 3 squads left. They start bursting down awkward while Complexity look on from the low ground.
And this is how you know when you play the Rampart to counter-pick the Newcastle walls. Detrimental in a zone like this, playing off the natural cover of the terrain, but looking at the teams playing off the low ground, playing at a positional disadvantage with our last 3 spots alive. Falcons playing with confidence.
Throw a fucking nade right there.
Feeling the momentum. That's what kind of team Falcons are. And they found some here. They're going to run away with this second game. Let's see if they can finish off these last 3 kills.
Coming in off the high ground, looking at Monsoon before sliding in with the dash from
Damn.
Zero. Look at this. The Zero Hal team up. Finding Funk, finding Kintu. We saw Waltzy with the bow check earlier before, and Monsoon gets eliminated.
Just running down the lobby.
12 KP for Zero. Sliding out though. They lose all watching Zero. It's only up to Hal. Panic into it. Slow shield swap. And Falcons are your game.
See what the points are. 20 kills. Damn, not bad. 32. That's crazy. That was a good game. Skip all the preamble, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to watch the games. I don't really give a fuck about anything in between.
No, are they finally just warming up?
How many times am I gonna not pick Falcons before I finally pick Falcons? Every time I'm like, no, it's not their time. And every time that I don't pick them, I watch people fly me by in the points. Catalyst, Newcastle, and Alter all banned as we move on to Storm Point. Catalyst, Newcastle missing on Storm Point is gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, This is one of the prime maps where Newcastle and Catalyst excel due to the fact that the playable area in a lot of these zones is very minimal. So you kind of have to create your own one. And when you have two characters that cannot extend,
X and Y has a really shit location to
could
draw.
extend, but you no longer have them in game to use them.
They're
to
fighting
extend
like right
by
off
land or
spawn.
create your sanctuary,
Every time.
so to say, is very tough. And some people opt more to close fights faster, which is why we tend to see a lot of aggressive team comps instead of trying to make maybe a pseudo-defensive comp, so to say.
I'm expecting to see a lot of Ashe for that very reason, right? You want to close the gap quickly, and that actually may snowball into an Ashe ban in future games, which could throw even more question marks into the mix. Things like Bangalore, things like Wraith start picking up in priority, and actually, since we're on Storm Point, Fuse as well is going to be super valuable. I mean, we've already seen Fuse be very valuable at the open, but when we get into open spaces like this, when you don't have cover, man, it is going to be really
Yeah, that
nice.
they do,
Zero
indeed.
piloting the Ashe
I'll be
this
right
time
back.
around.
I'm gonna take my dog outside. Ugh. When I play Fortnite, I play Fire Edge, loot in the first storm if I need, and I play a lot of Storm Edge, but when I play aggressive and I'm more middle circle, carrying bunkers and play off the environment, my favorite is when you catch a player slipping, they just show them toes, bink bink. Yeah, I should download Fortnite again and give it a go. But no build shit, you know? Give it a whirl. No, Sativa, it's not for you.
It's worth highlighting, as Genome said, the guy who stole all the kills last game, but has been doing very, very well for the Falcons, not just in actually picking up the kills, but of course in IGL in the squad.
Yeah, you and Face of Death are pretty nuts at that.
Zero has been able to do this for a very long time, from winning several lands to now making a super team, and now, you know, people have been having their doubts online whether or not the discussions between the teams, which isn't always necessarily bad, is going to affect them going into this LAN. And, you know, some might argue, yeah, it did, they're in the lower bracket, but some might...
Yeah, 5 weeks Star Wars season.
Yeah.
They're waking up.
Oh, they're gonna have a Star Wars season again? That's pretty cool.
To have a little bit of anger fueling them, Falcons seem to take that anger and turn it into some pretty fantastic results. So being in the elim bracket, having the pressure on, may actually be a situation that is benefiting them much more than it is other teams proportionally. I'm looking at a squad like Complexity, who I had predicted coming into the day. It's been a little bit slower for them, although they're still in a position where we could see Complexity qualify. That being said, there are squads like Complexity that I would say, you know, when the pressure is on, maybe it starts becoming a little bit worse for them, and they have to start to quell those nerves individually.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. I think this is one of the maps where they can, you know, now it's do or die. It's
yeah, he's like 3 or 4 hours ahead of us.
But this is the map to do
and he's like 3 hours ahead of us. Are behind us.
Fight, depending on the zone. Like right now, we saw the zone is pulling south, more towards the south of Pylon potentially, or maybe even a little bit more towards...
He's 3 hours behind us.
These areas are very fightable, and people are already opting to stay very aggressive. Like Complexity we saw now is already looking to take a fight.
I thought Skynet was going to land. I was pretty sure. Funk on an off angle with the 30-30 can open things very well for the team, but isn't going to get the opportunity to. Starts getting outflanked and backs off to Kimchi, who will be able to hold things down for him. Complexity look for an angle right now. They haven't been able to find one, and Envy's dropped down very quickly. That's a 1-for-1 right now. Make it a 1-for-2 in favor of Envy. Even though it's a fight Complexity started, it is a fight that Envy finish.
This is one of the exact same reasons I keep talking about triple swinging. Envy triple dropped.
Complexity is cooked. Complexity is just cooked.
Slid down on them, immediately wiped. 3v2. Monsoon won again, once again. We saw it yesterday as well. Caught off guard, far away from his team. It was a 3v2, and they just cleaned that fight. We cannot have this happen in this match right now, which it just did. 2 more rounds to go, and they got to bring it back somehow.
Yeah, gonna be really tough. Even more difficult road for a team like Complexity, but Envy, who were sitting at 13th, do desperately need the points to put themselves in a safe.
Don't be like that. That was my slice of pizza, bitch. I don't gotta share with you. Don't be talking to me like that.
Sorry, starting barometer, and should still have priority to do very well in this zone.
You hear what she just did?
Right here, Budo is getting down by Blast.
Marth?
Has been hot, still in first place after
you hear that little whine?
games, being able to close out games.
Well, I was sitting here eating a slice of pizza, and she's saying it was the last slice, and she's like buttering me up with her eyes and shit. And I stuck it in my mouth, and she whined and stormed off.
Right now, we just gotta make sure we make it out alive.
And that's really
unbelievable.
It's FWG that land at Coastal Camp, and them being taken out, being pushed out of zone, having one person left, having to negative rotate, and likely
unbelievable.
Placement points that they would otherwise
what a dog.
Is a complete unseating of what should have happened for them in this game.
The scary part about having someone on top of you sometimes is if you don't get
no, what did this guy just say?
A ton of loot to sustain all the way into late game, that means you're under geared. So when a team comes from a different POI, they not only loot their POI, they also get rotational loot in the forms of other, you know, smaller buildings, bins, etc. So they come in more stacked, and when they come in more stacked to take a fight against you, especially if you're on triple wide armor, it's not really an even fight.
Zesty besties starting to take their own fight up against X and Y. We are going to see a lot of engagements around the edge of the ring for teams that like to play either on the edge or the mid-speed. At this point in the game, they're going to be sharing a lot of space. Aurora do hit a quick respawn, so we'll get back into the game themselves, a team that desperately needs points.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was rooting for them yesterday. I'm always rooting for my friends. However, they haven't really seemed to have found their footing across most lobbies they have played in. So is it too late in going into this match now? The reset will definitely give them a second win, so to say.
Everybody just fishing for kills right now, looking for an opportunity, a team that's caught a little off guard on rotations. Because we mentioned Aurora and the respawn that they were able to pull off, it's worth noting that squads like that, like Liquid Alienware, who are moving in from the north, may be at a disadvantage when it comes to rotating into squads that are looking to pick a fight. Perhaps a team like Arnett, who are starting to move out, seek out a fight against Heroes. I don't think this is going to catch, though. If I'm honest, Graceful, everybody seems to be playing, as we enter onto Stormpoint, quite scared.
Yeah, people are prioritizing rotating a little bit earlier than normal. Arn, however, is looking to take it. You know, I saw them take a fight earlier as well. They might only have 9 points currently, but they have been being very proactive, wanting to take fights. And if they can maybe just clean it up a little bit, maybe they can catch somebody off guard. But it looks like a little too late.
I'm thinking so. Maybe this last kill gonna go down, but the triple take not quite connecting. Always difficult for me to be so consistent with the triple take. It's it takes a lot of time to learn how to use that. FWG, good news for them. Do manage to pull off a reset.
I got the thighs frozen. They'll be good for a while.
Coastal Camp, they're gonna have another chance at life. Where Aurora, I think they're doing the typical Aurora things, not really engaging with the rest of the lobby until it is much later. The problem will be with Team Liquid Alienware coming up behind them. Have Aurora anticipated this rotation?
Yeah, farming the spooters for a little bit more gear after having a rough start, needing to reset, is a good beginning. Luckily, they didn't get caught off guard by Team Liquid here, and they're just rotating.
I mean, credit to Aurora, especially if they're able to hit the survey beacon down at Bean. They'll have an idea that Liquid Alienware behind them. 9 lies actually in front of them. So Aurora also potentially in a bit of a pinch.
You're always on edge, buddy.
Choose to rotate down to the south. We've got a couple kills going down in the kill feed, however, and it's the Zesty Besties that are in trouble as Corinthians get eliminated.
Yeah, Zesty Besties, the last guy rapping right here, looking to run away and reset as Bolin and the guys are duo still. Making sure that they still stay in the game, because only Circle 2 in, you have more than enough space to reset far away. And these guys are just very happy with getting the KP and loot. I think they've been holding it for quite a while, actually.
Yeah, X and Y don't seem keen on giving this high ground up, even as TSM go up to them. Maybe looking for a fight. In fact, I'd expect looking for a fight. When you're playing on the edge of zone like this,
is that Thunder?
Are playing for the KP. Gent, thinking about using the mother load, is going to drop this, but I'm surprised to see it used so early when there's no initial damage for TSM on the fight.
I mean, it might have been used early, but it's already at 10%. You can pretty much shoot it like a frag grenade, so it's completely fine.
What's up?
Fuse already seeing a lot of gameplay now as well, as we saw that Newcastle is gone as well. Panic fighting right now. Team Orchid looking to do a little sneak to see if they can catch somebody off guard. Sap on Envy is currently holding it down on the east side of the cannon.
With Heroes having lost one, Envy's chase does seem to be going pretty well. Remember, we've got Orchid, who are controlling this high ground, although as it stands, it is only Panic that's been sent out here, who on Ash does have a little more survivability, chance to get back to the team, but is solo holding the ridge and buying space for Team Orchid.
Step on me like that.
One of the spots that is very tough to hold later on, because that's when everybody starts looking at you. Earlier on, it's fine, but as people are slowly inching in, they're going to need to look several directions. As 9 lines take down 2 members of Aurora, it's not looking too good for them, Dia.
No, and we knew these teams have been next to each other for so long. Aurora shadowing 9 lives for the past 3 minutes, and now finally get turned on. Unfortunately, Oirain has to disengage, and on Crypto, yes, you've got the chance to pick everyone back up, but it's still going to be a tough road. YBR also going down, a squad that I'd expected to do a lot better, given that they land at Barometer, should have been able to play zone, and are denied that opportunity. At the FWG, who from Coastal Camp had to reset, come back and take out Aurora.
Aurora does get knocked down as OG Rain at least, does a trade, but it's definitely not enough for them to get any points.
FWG getting collapsed on though. 9 lives, notice this. And remember, we talked about Liquid Alienware coming from behind this. FWG, remember, should have been a good game for them. And now they are pinched in place of Aurora.
Looking for a great pinch hit as we move on to Falcons, however, mid-fight right now, getting 2 downs and a thirst as well. 0 going down, but I think they should be able to clean this up for a wipe. The question remains, however, can they survive the next wave of members potentially jumping on them as they are fighting in the middle of the zone?
This Motherload should make the res safe. I'd like to see how stick it just around now. Liquid Alienware are taking down FWG, who, as we mentioned, were in a pinch earlier and now are going to likely be taken out as the Zesty Besties are finished off by X and Y.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a lot of Fuse all over the place, people are really abusing the fact that people don't have Newcastle as much, and as well as Catalyst. He really excels. The same way we used to see before, where people are picking a legend due to the fact that, you know, certain legends are in the game and or are not. Fuse is capable of abusing you now that you don't have, you know, your own sanctuary made with Newcastle.
Wayne, okay.
Omid have been silently doing very well this game. I've watched them pick up
Okay.
a lot of KP on the way in, and it's actually worth talking about. Cody and Sang, Arcane was talking about this earlier, wanting to give these two players a great experience at LEN. Cody and Sang are farming the top of the leaderboard right now, where TSM unfortunately are unable to make it in. It's clear that Cody and Sang are having the land, the performance of their lives.
Ooh, dude found a timing to almost get it down right there. Fighting Light as well decide to jump back down as other teams are joining the fray. Nice fade so far, even dodged the EMP earlier on. But will it be enough as they get the rest and potentially the reset, because Gaming Gladiators played it safe by saying, hey, we tried, let's not lose our positioning just for some kills.
A lot of utility expended by Jet, but I have to say very worthwhile to get TSM the reset. Falcons starting to take down a few more kills. While Gaming Gladiators continue extending to try and take out TSM.
Ooh.
The Skynades continue to rein in, however, and it's not going to be easy. Jet does go down as Lufka has a nice off angle. EMP going to go out as well. The Gaming Gladiators are slowly but surely winning this fight against a TSM that doesn't want to say die, but may not have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, great play from GG right here, taking out TSM on the cusp, but they didn't do it for free. They're getting immediately punished by G-Dolphin swapping up behind them right here, shooting them, looking to take their spot, but they also lose one on the way.
Tryhard Thor gonna play around the outside zone with the defensive Motherload out in front of him, so it is just a reset on health bars as Falcons are the ones taking big space in Coastal Camp. Big space in what could, I would say, be Godspot. Finishing out Tryhard Thor, taking out Atlas. Falcons should have complete dominance over this area of Coastal Camp with just GG left in their sights and a duo of GG at that.
A duo indeed. We saw that just a 4P happening essentially, but everybody to each their own. As long as Falcons doesn't understand that they're a duo, I think they could be coexisting. Omid, however, Circle 3 closing on the west side of the map right now, waiting to hold teams out with that movement of the Ash TP for positioning. Really good TP by Cody, looking to hold teams out on his own with the charge up Rampy, making use of it, and Vicky is no very happy as now.
But he gets
Sang is also back and gets shot in the back by the hill.
Oh no, Liquid Alienware contributing to that Omit takedown in a big way, and now likely taking out FWG again. Remember, Liquid Alienware already took out 2/3 of this squad, and now after the reset get to grab Omit and FWG. This could be a huge game for Liquid Alienware.
Yeah, Liquid Alienware has really navigated throughout, you know, the cusp of this zone, all the way on the edges, going back in and back out, looking to see and find kills, and they made their way into the next zone, and they're actually sitting kind of comfortably going into the next one as well, closing.
I can't believe they got that FWG reset fed right into them with Omit. And now they've got the hillside as well, overlooking all the teams that need to exit Pylon. Absolutely the next area of the map where we are going to see a lot of action happen.
Zone pulling straight into Devastated Coast, right on top of Falcons and Gaming Gladiators right there. They are feeling really good about this zone potentially. Liquid Alienware as well, not in a bad spot at all to get more KP, because all of the zones, all of the teams right now on the northern side of the zone have to rotate in. The likes of Envy, the likes of Alienware right now are looking to hold them out and get more KP. But will they be able to do that without also, you know, it being very messy, because it could go either way. One Ash KP the wrong way or on top of a team can just start a fight in a completely different direction.
That'll be the very delicate balancing act. 3 squads still in zone. Monster, Falcons, Gaming Gladiators. They don't have much to do for the next couple of minutes. But in 30 seconds, it's going to be time for, like you said, Envy and Liquid Alienware to balance their aggression with picking up a whole lot of KP that could be coming their way. Liquid Alienware have already been noticed. I believe that's Team Orchid that are starting to shoot out the tethers, make sure that Liquid Alienware know that they're aware a fight is coming. These kills are not going to be free, if coming at all. I want to take a listen in with Team Liquid, see how they approach this as the rounds close in 5 seconds.
¿La rompemos el balón o no? No.
Yo falo una, ¿o qué?
¿Ustedes también ahí, no? ¿No le suben?
No.
Acá. Dispara, güey. Y marca, mira acá. Están lanzando respawn. Roto el de respawn. Me rompieron.
No le tengo ángulo. ¿No tenemos zona,
Sí, voy a ir bajando poco a poco.
Te digo que TP de una.
Date, si quieres date. Hay un equipo acá. Tengo zona aquí, pero estoy medio mal porque tienen fuse.
Voy con ustedes, voy con ustedes.